Yahweh up in the kingdom, yeah.
Who are we? Israel. That who are we? Israel. Can't hear you.
Israel.
Who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power, yeah.
Said, who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power, yeah.
Shalom. Shalom to everybody online. Welcome to another live class. We're here with we're the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're at 231 FM 1092, Stafford, Texas. We got classes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 9. Friday from 6 to 8 or 9, just depends on what the questions is looking like. Then we got Shabbat morning class on Saturday from about 10 to about 2, 3 o'clock. If you're local, feel free to join us. We have our school in Virginia, right? They're at 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia. Did I say it right? Norfolk, right? Norfolk, Virginia. 23517. Their class times are Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 9. They got Saturday morning Shabbat class. I think they start around 12. So you can check them out. We got the school in Rochester, 1600 Lyle Ave, Rochester, New York, 14606. They also do class Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 9. Saturday from 10 to 2. All right? And then we also have our San Antonio location, 4444 Walsham, San Antonio, Walsham Road, San Antonio, Texas, Suite 201. They're Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday from about 7 to 10. Saturday 10 to 2. So we got 4 locations. If you're local, feel free to join us for class. Come one, come all. You can check us out on YouTube, right? ISVHBK on YouTube, and all our different channels will pop up. Our kids class, the cable show, the news show, all the different cable shows and all the different channels we have on YouTube are associated to that one channel, the Virginia channel, San Antonio. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to get that word out. We have a feast day coming up. Guys, it's feasted out, right? We got the Feast of Weeks, right? That's May 31st. So what day is that? Wednesday. That's a Wednesday, so we ain't gonna have class that day. We'll be having a feast day. Got it? Right? Come on, let's get it. Right? Let's get it. Israel love to eat. You just fast from now in between then and you'll be fine. Right? So that's the Feast of Weeks or Pentecost. Right? So we'll update brothers and sisters on that. If we need to go over a class on it or talk about it, we can do that. So that's the feast day coming up. We got Hebrew Academy here in Houston. It's every Tuesday from 7 to 9. In Virginia and in Rochester, it's every Monday from 7 to 9. All right, so make sure you check out Hebrew Academy. That's where we go over how to street speaking etiquette, class etiquette for the brothers. We'll answer questions, go over breakdowns, anything to help the brothers step into their priesthood, their officership. All right, so it's a requirement for the officers to be at Hebrew Academy, so they can be able to street speak and teach classes. Okay, so we got Hebrew Academy in all 3 zones. If you need to speak with a teacher, you can contact me, Priest Wadazab, phone number 303-557-8979. You can contact Priest Kazakia, 757-300-4047. And you can contact Priest Zionala in Rochester at 346-234 8340. Text only during class. You can call us anytime. All right. We have a few businesses. We got Sweet Ambiance. That's our businesses that are located in the malls. If you know us, you can find us in the malls. Slanging them earls. Selling them earls. You know what I'm saying? The apothecary, the art of the apothecary. Right? So that's Sweet Ambiance. We got sweetambiance.com. You can check that out. You get your custom mixes, bath bombs, body butters, bath salts, all that fun stuff. We have Chosen Creations, right? You can check that out, chosencreations.com on Etsy. That's where we make, if you guys seen our Passover garments, we do like the engraving with the metal, the woodwork. We got Hebrew stuff. We're gonna try to venture over, set up another setup, right? And make, just do some other things for people, other custom pieces. But if you need some Hebrew custom pieces for the house or something to wear, Chosen Creations is the place. Then we got Israel Wear. Everybody knows about Israel Wear. That's where you hit the sisters up and you can get a customized garment, right? For men, for women, for children, whatever you like. Nothing is beyond their powers, right? And then associated with Israel Wear, we got Fringed Up, which there should be some fresh new ideas coming soon for Fringed Up. So be on the lookout for that. And the Fringed Up is the subscription. You get the shirt, $35, or you get the shirt and the headband for $75. That comes every month with fringes and a design and all that good stuff. So remember, the business is to help out the school, right? So you can help the school out and get something in return. And then speaking of that, any donations that you guys want to give, we got the Wells Fargo, the Cash App, the Zelle. We definitely need the help because even when we got all them businesses, banks are crashing. So people get nervous, right? They don't want to spend. They're not going into the malls and right and alleviating their stress on what is it when you shop and you're stressed out? Shop therapy. You're not doing shop therapy like that. So our businesses are located in the malls, so we're kind of taking a little bit of a hit. So whatever brothers and sisters can help out with as far as the school rents, the bills, is greatly appreciated and needed. All right, so that's it for the announcements. I'm gonna go into this class today. Disclaimer: I love everybody. I love you all, right? And we got to talk about a few things. We got to talk about what I want to talk about is the estate of our men, right? And the women too. But I want to talk about the estate of our men. And I'm not talking about the men running around pants sagging, smoking blunts, beating their women, abandoning their children. Right? I don't want to talk about those men. Those men are easy to understand. Right? We see what's going on with those men. Right? What's up with those men and those women? Drug abused, drug addicted. What's going on with them? What scripture comes to mind when you look on the news and you look out in them streets and you driving your car and you hit a certain block and you look, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Abishai, what?
People are lost for lack of knowledge.
Right? Hosea 4:6. Somebody get it. That was what always comes to mind, right? That my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, right? So we know what's up with them. They don't have the knowledge. Go ahead, read it.
Look at Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Yeah, And we know that's the state of the men that are in the world. They're destroyed for the lack of knowledge, right? They don't have the wisdom, the knowledge, or the understanding to get by, so they take matters into their own hands. You had the Issacharite cat. His neighbor told him, hey, can you stop shooting your gun towards my property? 20 minutes later, he walks into the dude's house and shoots 8 people in the house, including a few babies, right? No knowledge. Goes on the run, almost escapes. He got caught yesterday, right? You got school shooters. You got women out there still slanging their babies for drugs and for come-ups. You got all these different things happening, and we see it, right? We're privy to it. All you gotta do is turn on the news, like I always say. Turn the news on, and you'll know the estate of our people, right? So we know about them. We know our people is destroyed. We know mingled amongst the heathen. We learn their works, and some of us are keeping those works, those evil works going, right? We know about that. We know about the ones that love wickedness. We know about the ones that ignorance is bliss. They could care less. But what I want to talk about is, I want to talk about us that have the truth, that sit in class, that have the Bible, that you could look at the estate of other men and judge and say, okay, they're jacked up, right? What gives you the ability to say that? What gives us the ability to look at the next man and say, oh, wow, dang, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge? What is it? Huh? Right. Well, yeah, it's the Bible, but what about the Bible? Because the Bible has been around forever and we're just not getting it. So what about the Bible? What are you finally getting? What?
The knowledge.
The knowledge, and what else?
Understanding.
And the understanding. You're finally starting to look and understand how the Bible coincides with the world. You're finally understanding, when you sit in class, how to relate the scriptures to what's happening out there in the highways and byways, right? You're finally able to understand, oh, Deuteronomy 28 was talking about us. Regardless of what anybody wants to say, and any person that wants to debunk, and any Christian apologist, and any Kemet, any Islam, any religious person, regardless of what they can come and try to debunk, you know in your heart of hearts that what? Deuteronomy 28. See, that's how I know we're messed up, because we still living that way. Right? We still living that way. So what gives us the ability to look at them and judge is the fact that we got the understanding now. We finally got the Bible in a way that you can put it to something. You can apply it in life, right? So the title of this class, what did I title this class? I titled this class, The Couching Lion of Judah. The Couching Lions / Lionesses of Judah. And did you finish that, Hosea? Well, that's all I needed. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, right? Now, what about us in here that got the knowledge, or that is getting the knowledge? See, there's a controversy. You know how, like Yahushua said in Revelations, he was going through all the churches. He said, you're doing good, you're handling business, but I got a controversy with you. You got this going on, you got that going on. Well, there's a lot of controversies in Israel, and especially with the men that have the knowledge and have the understanding. Go to Numbers, and you can title this first point, Old Lions. Old Lions. And you can title that the first point, Old Lions. Go to Numbers real quick. 24 and 5. Got it? Right, okay. You got it? Numbers 24 and 5?
Okay.
Go ahead, read it.
Look at Numbers chapter 24 verse 5.
Right.
How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob.
Go ahead.
And thy tabernacles, O Israel.
Yeah, because at the core of it all, we are a good people. At the core of it all, man, we're loving, we're kind, we're forgiving. almost too forgiving. We're compassionate to a fault, right? We are good people. We are a good nation at the core. And especially with the wisdom, come on, we're above all nations on the earth, right? So how goodly are thy tents, read.
As the valleys are they spread forth, as gardens by the riverside, as the trees of lime, aloes, which the Lord had planted.
Right. Most High said, man, we like a beautiful garden. We like trees planted by the water, strong, vivacious, fervent, full of leaves. Right? Go ahead.
And as cedar trees beside the waters.
Read.
He shall pour the water out of his buckets,
Mm-hmm.
and his seed shall be in many waters.
Go ahead. Now, ain't that the truth? Israel's spread all over the place. Right? Our seed is in many waters. Go ahead.
And his king shall be higher than Agag,
Go ahead.
and his kingdom shall be exalted.
Read on.
God brought him forth out of Egypt.
Yeah, the Most High brought us out of captivity, out of Egypt. Right? He brought us out of the Assyrian captivity. He brought us out of the Babylonian captivity, the Moabite captivity. He brought us forth through all these different captivities. Now, obviously, at this time, the only captivity we went through was the Egyptian captivity. Go ahead.
He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn.
He had the strength of a what?
A unicorn.
Go ahead.
He shall eat up the nations, his enemies.
See, this is how the Most High created us. The strength of a unicorn, that rhinoceros. It's not talking about a unicorn, a horse with a thing coming out of his head. But you know that rhino? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now think about a rhinoceros. Who's going to stand in front of that? Who's going to go head to head with a rhino? What animal in nature? Take a few lions, right? Go ahead.
And shall break their bones.
And shall what?
Break their bones.
Go ahead.
And pierce them through with his arrow.
Go ahead.
He couched, he lay down as a lion.
Go ahead.
And as a great lion.
Wait, what did he do? Wait, the Most High said he was like a rhino. Most High said he was going to break bones, swallow up nations, but what did he end up doing?
He couched.
He did what?
He couched.
He did what?
He couched.
Go ahead.
He lay down as a lion.
Go ahead.
And as a great lion.
Now, think about this. When a lion couches down, what are they doing?
Stalking. Yeah.
They're doing what?
Stalking.
They're stalking that prey, right?
Yeah.
They're creeping through the brush, camouflage, ready to pounce. So it's not a bad thing that he couched down, that he lied down. It's not a bad thing. That's actually the hunting tactic of a lion. It said he couched, he lied down. Go ahead.
And as a great lion.
Go ahead.
Who shall stir him up?
But see, why does a lion get stirred up from that couching position? Why does a lion get stirred up from that couching position? What stirs him up? Hey, go that way. What stirs him up? Come on, y'all. Don't pay attention to who's coming in. Pay attention to me. What stirs up that lion? What gets him out of that couching position? If he's couching for the prey, when is he going to pounce up? When what?
When you see a weak one.
When he sees a weak one, or when he finds his target, right? Whether it be a weak one or a separated one or even something strong. Lions really don't care. They'll prefer to hunt what's separated, make it easy on themselves.
Right.
But he pounces up when he sees the prey, right? That's why it asks. Read it again from verse 9.
Verse 9. He couched, he lay down as a lion, and as a great lion. Who shall stir him? Who shall stir him up?
Right. Who shall stir him up? Who's going to get this lion from the couching position? Right? Go to Genesis. Go to Genesis 49. See, the thing is this. as you guys get Genesis 49 and 9. Read Genesis chapter 49 and verse 9.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 9.
Go ahead.
Judah is a lion's whelp.
Right. Judah is a lion's whelp. Come on.
From the prey, my son, thou art gone up.
See, the problem is Judah, the lion, he's couched down, but then it said from the prey, thou hast gone up. Now, we understand what that means. Who understands what that means? From the prey, thou hast gone up. And I'll give you a hint. The first scripture we read edifies on this point. What's the first scripture we went to?
Hosea 4:6.
And what did it say?
My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
So what is the prey?
Knowledge.
Right. The prey is the Bible. The prey is the knowledge. Right? The prey is the wisdom. But remember, we ain't talking about these men out here, these women out here. Let's talk about us. Let's talk about how we're still couched down. Read on.
He stooped down.
He did what?
Stooped down.
Mm-hmm.
He couched as a lion.
Go ahead.
And as an old lion.
Wait, what? Wait, he prounced down, he stooped down, he was should have been ready to pounce. But it said as an old lion, he did what?
Who shall rouse him up?
Right. See, it's saying the same thing, but it's giving us a few more clues. See, this stooping down, this couching down wasn't to get into prounce position. This couching down was to literally do what it says, to couch down, to couch. What does it mean to be couched? What is the definition of couched? Check this out. Couched. And this is the issue with a lot of men in the truth, man. We get the word, we get the knowledge, but then we're doing too much couching with the word. What you got?
Couched. Laid down.
Right, so we have laid down. Just lay it down. Go ahead, what else?
Laid on.
Right, laid on, go ahead.
Hid.
Right, where what?
Hid.
What have the men of Israel done?
Hid.
Right. It's like we hiding with this word. It's like like the scriptures say to hide the word, right, in your bosom, but it's like we're hiding our talents. And I'm gonna show you why, because y'all like, but what you mean? No, I'm in class. I'm this. I'm that. No, it's not about that. It's a mentality. It says we're hid. Go ahead. What else?
Hid, included, or involved.
Go ahead.
Laid close.
Right.
Fixed in the rest.
Fixed in what?
In rest.
It said Judah is fixed on getting rest. What else?
As a spear depressed. Or removed.
Go ahead.
As a cataract.
As a cataract. You know what a cataract is? What's a cataract?
That's something to do with your eyes.
They got something to do with your eyes, right?
Cloudy, it's like cloudiness over your eyes.
Right. A cataract. Check this out. And that word is C-A-T-A-R-A-C-T, cataract. In medicine and surgery, a disorder in the eye by which the pupil, which is usually black and transparent, becomes opaque, blue, gray, brown, by which vision is impaired or destroyed. So the scriptures is telling us that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge because they don't have it. But some of the ones that do have it are destroyed for the lack of knowledge also. Why? Not because they don't have it, because they're not using it. They're not putting it into practice. They're not getting up off the couch. That couch in your mind. You know that Corona commercial, life is a beach. Some of us think that life is a beach, and that we got to sit up on the beach chair, get the cold Coronas, and clink, right? Cheers with your boo. Listen, the scriptures say, what do the scriptures say about our rests? What does it say? What?
This is not our rest.
Micah what?
Micah 2:10.
Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. This is not your rest. This is not your hiding place. See, the problem is some of our men that have this wisdom want to go hide back in the world. You want to go hide back. You want to go hide back in your old life with the Bible and think like you can merge. We can't merge the two. And this is what we have to understand. There's no merging. There's a life, there's a learning, there's an eradication of the old life and a coming forth in the new life. That's the process. Every man that is in Christ is a new creature. But how can I be a new creature, right, if I'm still moving like the old lion, if I'm still down, hid, right? That definition is crazy. If I'm laid down, if I'm getting laid on, because that's like, it's like that's what if I'm fixed in rest. Fixed in rest. Think about that. I'm in rest mode. I'm in vacay mode. You know what it means to vacation? You know what that means? We went over that, right? It means to vacate or to not occupy a certain thing. We can't be in vacation mode as Israel. As Israelite, how do you vacate your nationality? How do you vacate your position? We can't, right? We can't. Now, come on, y'all gotta stay with me. I know. You gotta stay with me on this one. Just hear me out. Hear me out, right? Let's hear the scriptures out. That way, listen. Those of us in class, those of us online. That way, if what? If we fall into this, then we know how to get up out. What did it say? If it don't apply, let it fly. Right? Right. But if it applies, if this class is going to apply to you, and it should apply to everybody in some sense of the class, then you got to do what? Make those changes. You know, and that's all it is. This is not a slight on anybody. This is not it's not none of that. This is let's get what we got to get right. Let's do what we got to do, right? So, next point. How did we couch down? How did we lay in rest? How did we hide? How did we become comfortable slaves? Because we know, again, in the world, they're comfortable with slavery. They're comfortable with killing each other. They're comfortable with drugs and guns and ghetto logic and hood mentality and thoughts and dope boys. They're perfectly content with that. How do we know? Because when you say, hey, you don't have to be a dope boy. Oh, no, cuz I got to live that life. When you tell it like this, you can put on some clothes. Yeah, I know. But ain't no man gonna tell me what to do, right? Ain't no nigga gonna tell me what to do, right? So you know that they're content because they do what? They reject knowledge. Ain't that what it said in Hosea 4? My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected me, I have rejected thee, and thy son from being prince and kings, right? So we know the ones that are content with. Look, nobody in here is content with that. That's why you're here. Right? Huh? Right. Y'all online. Y'all are watching because y'all are not content with being thoughts, dope boys, pimps, hoes, thugs, prostitutes, simps, dirt bags. Right? We're not
Workers.
Right. We're not content with that. That's why you're here in class. That's why you're online. But are you? How do we couch down? How have we been hid? How have we became comfortable with just getting, you know, you got, and this has spanned through many generations, where you've had brothers and sisters. I got to deal with the bros today. But you've had brothers that were content with just understanding that Jesus was black. And that was the furthest they was going to go in this truth. Jesus is black. I'm part of the chosen. And I got the 4 scriptures to get my rib in order. Not in the right order or anything like that, but I got 1 Peter 3:1. I got a scripture in Titus. I got a scripture in Timothy, and that's all I need. That's it. That's my Hebrew Israelite. That's the extent of my Hebrew Israeliteness. Right? And how do you know? Well, they ain't here. They're not here no more. Right? They're not here no more. They did what? They went on to greener pastures. They went on to greener pastures, right? They went on and they lived their life. They went on and they took the small little bit of Jesus is black. They applied it to every situation in their life, and then they went back to smoking weed. They went back to dealing with the wrong women. They went back to church. They went back to Kemet, wearing Egyptian costumes and putting their kids in Christmas parties and Halloween. They went back to all the things that Christ is black don't solve. How to get your rib in order don't solve. I'm the chosen, that don't solve. They went back to all those things because that's what they wanted the extent of their learning to be. Now read Lamentations 5 and verse 14. And again, just to remind brothers and sisters, because remember, this is not just a brother thing, it's a sister thing too. Because you got sisters that are perfectly content with laying up with a man, laying up with their husband, right? He's steadily trying to pump the word into them, and she's always ready to challenge, always ready to be a demon, always ready to second question, always ready to usurp authority, always ready to call something out that ain't none of her business. So it's not just the men. You got old lionesses too that crouch down, don't want to take care of their kids, ready to pawn them off to the nearest bidder, don't want to handle the house, don't want to take care of what you vow to take care of. You're pumping all them children out, but you don't want to rear them, you don't want to nurture them. So it's not just a man thing, it's a nation thing, but we got to talk about the men because that evil lesson is being taught, right? So Lamentations 5:14.
The book of Lamentations,
Right?
chapter 5, verse 14.
Go ahead.
The elders have ceased from the gate.
Right. See, how have we couched? Well, our elders are no longer what we look at in our society. Our elders are actually ridiculed, right? They're actually, oh, nigga, you don't know nothing, you too old. Oh, look at the old head trying to tell me something. Bro, you this is a young man's game. Like, we the only people that do that. We the only people that shun elders and shut them away and act like they ain't got nothing valuable. So what do? Well, ain't trying to hear me, so guess what? I ain't gonna say nothing. And it's a catch-22 type of thing. The elders stop teaching, the young men stop hearing. The young men stop hearing, the old men stop teaching. They're not needed. We're the only people that make our elders feel less valuable or less appreciated. We're the only people that do that. And we do it in every genre of our life. Right? You ever hear Britney Spears? Watch this. You ever hear Britney Spears say, "Oh, Celine Dion, she's too young, she's too old to sing. She needs to hang it up. It's a young girl's game." You ever hear Taylor Swift tell Britney Spears, "Oh, Britney Spears needs to stop singing. She's too old." We the only ones that do that, right? Oh, he got to stop rapping. He's too old. He got to stop doing this. He's too old. Why he dressing like that? He's too old. We're the only ones that downplay the elders. Instead of saying, wait a minute, OG, what you got for me? What you got for me? Right? What you got? What knowledge you got? What wisdom you got? Right? Like the old cat that's doing JB? LB, man. LB is a hoot. It's a 70-year-old firecracker. Y'all heard him the other night on the live? We at the brother's house yesterday, and LB is there, and he's dropping jewels in his way. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing. I guarantee you, if you calmed him down and just sat with him, he could drop a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience that he had. He's 70 years old. He's the same age as my pops. I call my pops and let him just drop knowledge of things that he knows. Right? He ain't gonna be able to take me through the Bible, but he can give me some knowledge. He can give me a little bit of wisdom on certain things. Hey, pops, why they call a 2x4 a 2x4, but it's really a 1.5 by 3.5? Right? We was all stumped on that. Like, wait a minute. Call pops. What pops say? Oh, because the wood shrinks. Dang, I never knew that. I never even knew that it was 3.5 by 1.5. I never knew that. But pops laughed at me when I asked him that. He started laughing. Like, you don't know this? Okay, I got you, son. Right? And he dropped that information. Because he got that experience. 70 years on this earth, he got something to offer. He ain't just garbage because he don't know the scriptures. He got something to offer. But remember, we ain't talking about them. We talking about us. We talking about us, right? We talking about our elders, right? We talking about the ones that know better, that got the word, that's getting the word. But somewhere along the way, it's like, I've gotten enough word. You know what? Let me get back to my regularly scheduled program. Sisters, it's like, you know what? I've gotten enough Bible. I got 3 years of Bible. I'm good now. What? Okay. But you got 5 years of thought in you. You got 20 years of wicked in you. So how is 3 years going to surpass? Like, does it work like that? How is 3 years of Bible going to surpass the 30 years of ignorance that's in you? The 30 years of lack of understanding, 30 years of rebellion. How is that going to surpass that? No, you got to put in time. You got to put in that 30 years. But it's like, nope. I got enough Bible for the last 3. I'm good. I am good. I am full. Really? Okay. Break down Genesis 1:1. Oh. Ooh. This is the first scripture in the Bible. Right? Break down. But you can't have enough Bible if you can't even break certain things down. The most basic things in the scriptures. There is not enough Bible. That's the point. So the elders have ceased from the gate. Go ahead.
The elders have ceased from the gate.
Right. The gate represents what? What does the gate represent? What is a gate in any establishment? You said it. What?
I was going to say the same thing.
Right. Protection. A hedge. Right. What else? What else does it represent? Well, it's the only thing you can go through to get to that establishment. The only way to get into this house is you got to go through this gate. Right? So the elder represented that strong man, or the thing you had to go through to get to this house. So it's not just a bunch of, like, it's talking about men not doing what? Stepping up for their families. Not using the wisdom that you're getting to guide your house. That's what this is going into. It ain't just a leadership on a high government level. This is the basis of levels, man. That man is the elder of the house. He's the gate, the defense. He's the thing that has to be bound up for somebody to get into that house. How do you spoil a strong man's goods? What do you got to do to the strong man? You got to bind him up. You got to first bind up the strong man. So how have we ceased? How have we couched? Well, a lot of us are bounded up. Go there real quick. Get that scripture for me. Read that one more time. I like that.
Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 14.
Right?
The elders have ceased from the gate.
Uh-huh.
The young men from their music.
Right. The young men from their music. So everyone has gotten off of the thing, their position. Right? Everyone has stepped away from their, and best believe, come on, man, let's be real. If the men ain't doing the gates and the young men ain't doing their music, best believe the young woman and the old woman ain't doing a damn thing. Come on. Right? Well, oh, no, because I'm a strong, independent black woman. Bro, if you ain't got no man sitting there telling you what to do, guess what? You're going to do what you want. You're going to do what you want, and that's what's been proven through history. That when there's no man, there's no gate, there's no hedge in the house, the women and children are ruined. They're doomed, especially the children. 70% of single women households, them kids is in jail. They turn out to be jailbirds. They get molested. They get sexually abused. They drop out of high school. They drop out of school. They're less educated. That's fact. You can look it up. Read where you at.
Book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27.
Right?
No man can enter into a strong man's house.
Go ahead.
And spoil his goods.
Yeah, nobody can get through the gate to spoil that house until what?
Except he will first bind the strong man.
Yeah, that strong man is bound up. So what are we bounded up with? Having this knowledge, having this wisdom. As lions, what's bounding us up? What's tying our hands? Better yet, what's tying your feet? That's the question. What got your feet in shackles? Because for some, it ain't Ecclesiasticus 6. Put your feet into her fetters. Ain't that what it says? Right? It says we're supposed to put our feet into the fetters of wisdom and shackle ourselves in her chains. Now, if that was the case, this class would be null and void. Are we offline? Or is it just me?
No, we still on.
If that was the case, this class would be null and void, but it stands because we're not shackling ourselves to wisdom. We're not stepping our feet in the fetters of wisdom. We're not chaining ourselves to this knowledge the way we should be. So what's happening? Go ahead, read on.
And then he will spoil his house.
So guess what's happening to not just individual homes, but Israel as a house, the body, the nation as a house. The house of Israel is spoiled, man. It's spoiled. And then all we do is do what? Perpetuate the same mentality. They see our sons see us, and they do what?
Same thing.
They do the same things that we do. They carry the mantle the same way we carry it. So if it's slothful, they're going to be halfway slothful with the word. If it's fervent, diligent about that business, they're going to be diligent about that business. Right? Did you finish?
Okay.
Go to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 2. This is like a call to arms, man. You know how the presidents be giving speeches and they, our nation is at war and the enemy is coming. Bruh, this should be like a call to arms. Because that's what we need. Us of the circumcision, we know better. We know what's required. And the requirement is no different than what you required yourself in the world. You sacrificed in the world. You dedicated in the world. You dedicated for the things you wanted. You gave up for the things that you needed. How much more the word, right? How much more dedicate yourself and attach yourself to this wisdom. Read where we at, Isaiah 3 and verse 2.
Book of Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 2.
And at any moment, any question, y'all can stop me, any comment, go ahead, read.
The mighty man and the man of war.
Right.
The judge. And the prophet.
Right.
And the prudent.
Go ahead.
And the ancient.
The
captain of 50.
Right.
And the honorable man.
Yeah, all these men, top notch, men of stature. Go ahead.
and the counselor,
right,
and the cunning artificer,
right,
and the eloquent orator.
uh-huh.
And I will give children to be their princes.
I will do what?
Give children to be their princes.
Yeah, because since the man of stature, the eloquent orator, all these men have ceased to fulfill their position, he said, I'm going to just let children run over you and ruin you and run you. Again, we understand that happens out here in this world, right? We understand that the children are the oppressors of the people. How? How do we know? Well, because they do everything in the name of the children. Man, Christmas is wicked, but, we just do it for the kids. Easter is wicked, but, it's just about the kids. Halloween is garbage, but, it's about the kids. Got to do it for my kids, man. I got to live and die for my kids, right? Everything is about the children to a fault. We got to know better. We should know that we love our kids, right? I love my children, right? I love my kids. Love my wife. Love my mama. Love my daddy. Love them all, right? But do we compromise for the kids? No. Do we, and when I say compromise in the wrong ways. Compromise the morals and values in the name of pleasing our children. No, we shouldn't, right? We shouldn't be. Do we compromise in the way of teaching an evil lesson to our wives because they got emotional that day? Nah. Hell nah. You're just going to have to be emotional for a little bit. I got to go handle this biz. I got to go do this. I got to go make sure this. I got to go this, that. I got things to do. So you got to have to be with your emotions for a while. And then when we get back, we sort that out. But the problem is we're couched because we're being sat on. Remember, couched, right? It said laid on. It's one of the definitions. Laid on, meaning that somebody is on top of you, holding you down. Not hold me down, baby. Nah, it's like you getting held down, drowning, held underwater. Can't breathe, right? It's not the DMX hold me down. No. It's you're anchored to something that's keeping you what? From moving forward. It's a weight. It's a weight. It's an excuse. It's something that's holding us back. We got to push past that, right? Go ahead.
And babes shall rule over them.
And what?
And babes shall rule over them.
Yeah. This can't be the estate of us. Let them have that. Let their children be the reason why they can't move and groove. Or why they do move and groove. Our children shouldn't be the reason for why we don't or do. The Most High should be the reason. Yahweh Shai should be the reason. Somebody else's children should be the reason. Right? Go from there. Go to Luke 7 and verse 31. Right? Read where you at.
Luke chapter 7 verse 31.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said, whereunto then shall I liken the men of the generation?
Wait, he said, what should I liken the men of this generation? Go ahead.
And to what are they like?
And what are they like? Go ahead.
They are like unto children.
They are like unto what?
Children.
They are, huh?
Children sitting in the marketplace.
Yeah, man. The scriptures are saying that the men of this generation, they're like children, but what about children is he articulating in this scripture? Read.
And calling one to another.
Right.
And say, we have piped
Uh-huh.
unto you.
Right.
And ye have not danced.
Go ahead.
We have mourned to you. And ye have not wept.
Yeah, man. He said we're like children that can't be, like the part about the childness in us is that we can't be pleased. You're not satisfied with the way you get things. He said you're like children. What is that? Luke 7 and 31? Luke 7. Right? He said, read that one more time. Read verse 32.
32.
Right.
Luke chapter 7 verse 32. They are like unto children.
They are like unto children. Go ahead.
Sitting in the marketplace.
Sitting around in the marketplace. Go ahead.
And calling one to another.
Hey yo! Woo woo! Who do you? Right. You just children sitting on the block. Who do you? Right? Hey, Manashah, go that way. Go ahead.
And they, we have piped unto you.
Saying what?
We have piped unto you.
Yeah, because you wanted to dance. So guess what? Here, dance. We feasted. We feast. We eat. We drink. We party. Go ahead.
And ye have not danced.
But it's like, well, I don't like the music. Isn't that what children do? I want to go to, it's like, what you want to eat? McDonald's? Well, I ain't got no McDonald's money. You hungry? I'm starving. You put the food in front of them. I don't want that. I thought you was hungry. But yeah, I don't want that. Well, okay, that means you ain't hungry. Right? Yeah. Well, I thought you wanted to, I thought you wanted to unify and brotherhood and be around and, you know what I'm saying? Do something in Christ and build and take down the white man and destroy Whitey. Bro, you start talking about Esau, Judah get all the way roused. Right? You hear all the guns start clicking? Damn, bro. You're going a little too far now, right? Cats be ready. But then it's like, okay, let's go do something. I ain't gonna make it. Can't be there. My mama said. My auntie. My granddaddy. I'm tired. I'm couched. I gotta be on the couch. I'm sitting on the couch. The game's on. The video game. Right? Okay, well, you didn't want to sing and dance. Fine. What's the next thing?
We have mourned.
We have done what?
Mourned to you.
Okay, well, let's get serious. We mourning. We in serious mode. Well, damn, why y'all so serious? Why y'all so serious? Why you gotta be so serious, huh? Man, Quadazop is just so forward. Right? It's like, okay, bro, we, brethren, sisterin, we're trying to appease. We're trying to give the full circumference, the full balance. But why you ain't moving? Can a plant say, I don't like the sun, it's too hot? Turn down? I need it to rain right now. They got a deal. Like, bro, that sun's too hot. You better do something. Drop some leaves. I don't know. But you can't. The point is you can't want things, and then when you get it, because it's not the exact way you want it, or the exact time, or the exact place, you act like you ain't getting it. That's the point. That's why he said we're like children, because I'm giving you what you prayed for. I'm giving you what you asked for. But then you have too much time to try to critique your way out of doing what it is that thing requires. Go ahead.
And ye have not wept.
Right, we mourn and you have not wept. So it's like, well, what are we supposed to do? Go to Lamentations 7, Lamentations 2 and verse 10.
Book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 10.
Right.
The elders of the daughter of Zion
Right.
sit upon the ground.
Yeah, man. It's like, it's like, man, look, I'm going to just rest right here on the ground, man. I'm going to just chill right here because, you know, this is going on, that's going on. We all got things going on. The elders of the daughter of Zion just sit up on the ground. What is that saying? Well, our men, the men that know better, they've taken themselves and put themselves in a lower state by not what? By not using the wisdom, man. By not using what they have. By not continually feeding that spirit. By taking your candle, your talent, and hiding it. Go ahead.
And keep silent.
They do what?
Keep silent.
Man, you know, I ain't got nothing to say about that, man. I'm gonna let them do what they want to do, man. Cause you know, my business, man. You know, I got my own things to worry about, man. You know what I'm saying? I got my own problems to worry about. But that's the problem. Part of the problem is that nobody is willing to make themselves not accountable, but make themselves the one that's holding one's accountable. You know why a lot of our men don't want to say nothing? Because you don't want the finger pointed back at you. You don't want somebody to say, well, you ain't doing that. You know how you avoid that? You know how you avoid somebody being able to point the finger at you? How?
Not do it. Be blameless.
Be blameless. Do the thing that you're telling others to do. But a lot of our men, bro, they don't want to be blameless. They want to get the word in a way of church. They want to hear a good couple of scriptures. They want to get their rib in check, get the rib right, talk about the white man, get some knowledge about angels, the angels' names, and then go home and not be an Israelite as soon as they walk out this door. There's no, is there a punch clock right there at the side of the door that I don't know about? Like when you walk in, you clock, oh, Israelite, shalom. Then when you walking out, up, worldly nigga. Lazy. Me time. Nah, right? I mean, the point is, shouldn't we be Israelites all the time? There's no turn-off switch. There's no punch clock. Call them punch clock Israelites. There's no, I'm clocked out today. That's the mind, right? Read on.
They have cast up dust upon their heads.
Right?
They have girded themselves with sackcloth.
Oh, woe is me. No, get up off your ass. Stop woe is me and just get up and do something. You don't have to be in sackcloth and mourning and ashes and the whole woe is me. No. Get up and do something. Go ahead.
The virgins of Jerusalem
Right?
hang down their heads.
Right, because they ain't got nobody to look towards. They hanging down their heads because they looking at, okay, if these dudes ain't going to stand up, who's going to protect us? Who's going to protect us? Who's going to protect my chastity? Who's going to protect my chastity? If this man don't want to stand up, these men don't want to stand up for the things that they know, then what's going to happen when somebody comes to infiltrate? If they're bound up with the wrong things and tied up, their minds are tied up, or like the scriptures say, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. If I'm so entangled with the affairs of this life, am I even watching out for the virgin that might be done wrong, used and abused? No, that ain't my business, because guess what? Read it from the top.
But the Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
The elders of the daughters of Zion
Right.
sit upon the ground.
Go ahead.
And keep silent.
Because they know that you're going to do what?
Keep silent.
Yeah. You know why a lot of us keep silent? Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say. Because you're not studying to have something to say. You're not searching the word to be able to comment and reprove and check and exhort those virgins or those women or those men. We're supposed to have something that says a wise man heareth the wise word and add unto it. You're supposed to have always something to say. Especially when things are bad, especially when something's off. That's our job. That's our profession, to have something to say. Right? Or what? If you don't say something, then what does that come off as? If that's your mantra to never say nothing, no, I'm just let them do what they want, let them do what they do. That comes off as what? You're a pushover. Weak. Docile. Like the definition of couched. Hid. Fixed in rest. As a cataract, your vision is blurred. It's skewed. Right? Go ahead, read on.
They keep silent.
Right?
They have cast up dust upon their heads.
Right?
They have girded themselves with sackcloth.
Yeah, instead of casting dust upon your head, why don't you just lift the book to your eyes and read? Just lift the book up. I know it's a little bit heavier than the dirt. Instead of putting on the sackcloth and doing the whole act, why don't you just get up in here so you don't have to be on that? Go ahead.
The virgins of Jerusalem hang down their heads to the ground.
Uh-huh.
Mine eyes do fail with tears.
My what?
My eyes do fail with tears.
Right, no, that's it on that. From there, go to Job 4. We got to see that we can't be we can't be lazy with this word, man. We can't be lazy with this word. Job 4 and 10.
God. Job chapter 4 verse 10.
Right?
The roaring of the lion and the voice of the fierce lion
Right?
and the teeth of the young lion are broken.
Yeah, bro. Like, what's a lion without teeth? Right? What's he want, a milkshake? What's he need, a smoothie? What's a lion without the fierceness of that grill when he opens his mouth and you see them teeth and them claws? He's not really a lion. He's just a big cat, right? His weapons of war, the ability to tear things apart, the ability to impose his will. If the teeth on the lion are broken, how is he going to eat? How is he going to devour the prey? Now, just think about it. If the teeth are how the lion devours a prey, well, how do we devour the prey? This word, how do we devour? What do we use? What part of our bodies? Okay, our eyes, right, which are connected to what? Our brains, right? Now, the Bible tells you that your brain is what? What organ it equates it to? Your heart. But then the Bible also comes back and says what? Where your heart is, that's where your treasure will be. So, let's reverse a little bit. Right? Read it one more time.
Job chapter 4 verse 10. The roaring of the lion and the voice of the fierce lion and the teeth of the young lion are broken.
Yeah, look, it said his roar is gone, his fierceness is gone, and his teeth are broken. You the old scared lion from the Wizard of Oz. You need a heart, right? You the lion that he needed a heart, right? Right. Think about that. Think about the contradiction. Now, if the lion uses the teeth to devour the prey, and we're supposed to have our minds fixed on this word, but if our minds are bound up, the question is, what is it that's binding our minds so that we can't continue to, what's the word I'm looking for? Continue to, or to get to the point of fulfilling the will. And what do I mean by that? You know how you have like bystanders? People that are just kind of bystanding? They're there, right? They're watching, they're seeing, but it's like, oh no, I'm just a bystander, right? They're not really in the game. They're in the game, but they're not really in the game. We got to get to that point where we're not just bystanding in this game, where now you're able to take what your mind is fixated on and now use it. Devour. There's not enough devouring going on. There's not enough fierceness going on. It's more of what? fixated in rest, laying down, crouching, not wanting to speak up, not wanting to say things, not wanting to reprove things. The scriptures say, and we can go there, but it says, unless a man hold himself diligent in the fear of the Lord, his house shall be soon overthrown. This is not how we should be wanting to live. What's that? Did you?
I remember you had said that when like us, we're kind of starting over,
Right.
and to do more studying. But if we're out there and somebody says something, but we kind of know but kind of don't know, do we just keep quiet? Is it wrong to keep quiet, or should we just go for it?
You saying if you don't know?
You kind of know, but you don't.
Well,
Exactly where it is in the Bible, but you know it says, you know.
oh, okay, I got that. I mean, you got to know that you know that you know, right? But then the scriptures say, "Prove all things." So, if it's that case, you might say, "Hey, look, the scriptures do say that." Give me a moment to try to find that real quick, or I'll get back to you with where it says it. You know. Yeah. Where we at? Job.
Job chapter 4, verse 10.
Go ahead. Yeah, read verse 11.
Verse 11. The old lion perishes for lack of prey.
The old lion does what?
Perishes for lack of prey.
Yeah, y'all see this? It should say, my elders are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. My old lions that know, it says a lack of prey. Because it's there, but there's no teeth to devour. There's no fierceness to go after it. There's no drive. It's just, yeah, I'm going through the day-to-day motions. I'm going through it. I'm here. Day-to-day, mundane. There's no fear. It says, don't it say the righteous stand bold as a lion? Or did it say the righteous lay down like a lion? No, it says you stand bold like a lion, right? Because that's what we should be trying to do, is stand bold in this word. And we should be trying to push ourselves past the comfort, the comfortability, the comfortable thing. We still on there? Yep. It's just my tablet. Android. Right? We should be trying to push ourselves past what's comfortable or past what's normal. So, go from there, go to Deuteronomy 32 and 15. And, listen, some of us are just flat out, it's a lot of Israel, man, is just flat out lazy. They're just flat out lazy with this word. Remember, I'm not talking to Israel out there that don't know who the hell they are and they running around with white Jesus in their head. I'm talking about us bros, us brothers and sisters that know and are convinced and are assured of this word, and we're still not moving with that fervency that we need, that conviction. It's almost like, Yahweh Shai said it. He said in Revelations, he said, get back to your first love, right? Get back to your first love and remember from whence thou hast fallen. Revelations 2. And right?
2 and 4.
Right. Revelations 2:4. Right? And I'll read it real quick. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. But when you leave that first love, the energy that you have towards attaining that love, that's what he's going into. The energy, the drive, that's gone. So you're not going to go after that first love the way you used to. Remember when you first got into the Bible, you first heard the word and it lit you up? You were like, man, you weren't saying Barakatah Yahweh because you didn't even know what that was. You were saying hallelujah. Right? You were still saying hallelujah, which is fine. But there was a flame in you that was pushing and driving you, and then through what? Through many circumstances, through many situations, what happened? That flame died down in a lot of us. Deuteronomy 32:15.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 15.
Right?
But Jeshurun waxed fat.
Right. Jeshurun, the upright one, said he waxed fat. He got comfy. Go ahead.
And kicked.
You start to get built up. The Most High start to build you up. So you start to wax fat. You start to kick. What is Israel? What is, man, let's just kick it. I just feel like kicking it. Go ahead.
Thou art waxen fat.
Right?
Thou art grown thick.
Thou art grown thick. Go ahead.
Thou art covered with fatness.
Thou art what?
Covered with fatness.
Yeah, it's like, you ever see like a pig that's so fat it can't walk? A dog so fat it can barely move? It's like you got thick, you got nice, you got healthy, but then you got overgrown. To where now you can't get up. You got no choice but the couch down. Some of us got to get our health together. Some of us men. I was watching something today, man. Crazy. It was talking about how men are losing the Y chromosome. Now, if anybody understands what the Y chromosome is, that's the very thing that makes you a man. Women are XX, men are XY. Right? Yeah, XY. So, you got to ask yourself, man. It's crazy. You got to ask yourself, am I driven? As a man in this word, am I driven? Do I have the drive? Am I ready to go to the ends of the earth to get things accomplished? Am I driven enough? Am I pushing myself enough? Do I even have the drive? A lot of us, man, the drive ain't there. It's like it's slowly been sucked out of you. Go ahead, read on.
Then you forsook God.
Right, so a lot of our men, man, they got propped up, they got thick, they got their situation nice and handled. Most High blessed you, right? Good circumstances, well-paying jobs, good cribs, all that stuff. And what happened? And this is a throughout time thing. It said we forsook the Most High. Read.
Which made him.
Right.
And lightly esteemed.
We did what?
Lightly esteemed.
Yeah, we lose our power because we lightly esteem. Go ahead.
The rock of his salvation.
Right. You forget that when you got this word, you were saved from something. That's what we forget. That's what we forget. I think that's the key here. Is that we get to this point as men with knowledge and wisdom. I think we forget that we were saved from this world. We weren't saved to keep perpetuating this world. We were saved to do something different in this world. And I think that a lot of us have forgotten that. You didn't get the word just for no reason. Just to say you got it, that's pointless. Right? But I think we forgot. Watch, read it again.
From the top.
Nope, not from the top, from the part where he said lightly esteemed.
And lightly esteemed.
Right?
The rock of his salvation.
Right, the strength of your salvation. The very thing that you stood on. Isaiah 33:6, right? Wisdom and knowledge, strength of salvation, stability of your times. The same very thing that got you into that sound mind, that got you into the understanding of who you are, that peeled off the cataracts off our eyes, that pulled the wool, the sheep's wool off your face, right? That same very thing that illuminated the things around you. You're like, I don't need that no more. I got enough illumination going on. Again, I got enough Bible. I'm good, right? I done read a few chapters through my life. I got a question. Who has read the whole Bible in here? Book to book, front to cover, at least once in their life? Okay. Not enough of us. Not enough of us. But see, think about it. Every Sabbath, right? We come in here, we do the Sabbath reading. And what are we trying to do? Go cover to cover. But think about it. We're trying to require from ourselves and push ourselves, right? And then push y'all. But brothers should be in the mind of, man, let me read this. Let me understand what's going on. And I might not understand everything, because you're not gonna. Come on. I ask questions. Kazak asks questions. Like, we ask questions, man, because we don't understand it all. We don't get it all, right? It all can't be in the Son of Man. Every inkling of breakdown, you forget things, right? But if you're not even searching out to see what you don't know and what you do know, and what you do get and what you don't get, then all you're really going to have is the things you do know, which is what? The basic things that a lot of y'all problems ain't basic. Again, Christ is black don't solve your rib issues. I mean, unless it does, unless when she gets out of order, you're like, listen, sis, sit down, let's go to Revelations 1:14. You got to remember this. And you bring her through Christ is black, and all of a sudden, all the demons is off her. Is that, I mean, that ever work for you? No. Right. See, and she's been around for a long time. Right? The point is, you got to dive in and look for more. You got to, but it starts with knowing you and what your situation is. Knowing what ailments or what's tying you up or what's going to come tie you up. You the strong man. We're the strong men. But what's going to be your downfall? Wine, women, it says wine and women have caused great men to fall and ruin kings. Right? But then we know money. Right? But then we know pride. But then we know resentment and anger. Right? And grudging and misunderstanding and lack of patience. Which one fits thou? That's the question. And are you diving in enough to be able to sort that out mentally? And then sort it out biblically. And then make sure that the two, your mind and the Bible, are aligned. Sisters too. Remember, Israel got PTSD. Who in here has been in a breakup? Divorce, breakup, whatever. Guess what? Every grown person up in here. So y'all got PTSD. That's a traumatic stress. Because why? We weren't meant to be breaking up. And then if you got 2 and 3 of them, several. That wasn't something that we were meant to be doing. So guess what? You got PTSD just off relationship stress. That's just one thing. Who in here ever lost a car? Who in here ever lost a house? Who in here ever lost a family member? A lot of loss, right? But how have you dealt with it? Have you dealt with it? Have you let somebody sort out those thoughts? That way you don't bring, as a man, baggage into new situations. A lot of us haven't dealt with childhood trauma. Let's be real. Who have both parents in here? Right. So that's a trauma. That's a trauma. You know why? Because you saw both parents, but you didn't see everything done right. None of us did. Who had one parent in here? That's a trauma. And what do you do as a man? You replicate what you see. Who in here had who in here had dad that was, he was nonviolent, meaning he came home, leave me alone, I'm sitting on the couch, I need space to do what I need to do. He just sat there on the couch, TV, didn't want to deal with the house. Who had that? Right, that's a trauma. Right, you had that? Right. And then he'd drink a little bit, then he get frisky. Right? I know the types. Or who had the over-aggressive dad? He was involved, but he was like over, like, it's like, okay, Bob, like, get some balance. Either way, the point is, the things that we were shown as young men, if they weren't shown right, what did we do? We repeated them. And if you never gave yourself the chance to work those things out, then all you did was repeat them and then do what? Teach them to our children. Training up a child. Teaching them to your wife. We here now to do what? Deal with those things, right? Deal with the trauma. Deal with some of the things in the past that are still rearing their ugly heads in our future. Sisters too, right? Sisters too. Nobody really sat you down and taught you how to be a mom. You learn by proxy, by watching, right? You learn by observance, and a lot of the things you observed you didn't understand, so guess what you did? You went about things the way you could make sense of it in yourself, and you made mistakes, right? I mean, who's the perfect mom in here? Right. Right? Nobody's perfect. Who can honestly say that there's a lot of mistakes that you know you have to correct now, and you wish you weren't shown certain things? Right? Yeah. Those are the things you got to know that's in you.
Yeah.
You got to know that's in you. And stop trying to act comfortable. And stop trying to act like, oh, well, you know what? I got it. Y'all should be in here, and I'll give y'all this. I'll give brothers and sisters this. Y'all ask a lot of questions. Right? There's a lot of questions. We got Friday question class. Y'all ask good questions. But sometimes, or ask yourself, I don't want to put no words or thought in anybody's head, are those questions that you're asking, are those the questions that's going to help with your situations? Right? Knowledge is knowledge. Knowledge is one thing, right? You know, who this person is and that person, that could all get sorted out. That's easy. Boom. But who's asking about how do I deal with this situation or that situation? And that's where this mind is going to change and flip over into, oh, okay, I get it now. I see what I'm supposed to be doing. I see where I'm supposed to take Jesus is black and apply it here, but then I'm supposed to gather up all the other information and use that. Oh, you know what? Blameless. I got to put that here. Well, I always got to be blameless. Boom. Oh, you know what? Sacrifice. So that's part of it too. Oh, you know what? Long suffering, because that's what a man's supposed to do. Patience. Humility. And put all these things in the boxes that they belong in to make us better men, right? And then if we're better, guess who else is better? The chicas, right? And the niñas, the niños, right? Because let's be real, it's not. There's no family without a man. I don't care what you think, what you said, what they told you. There's no family, there's no structure without that man. So brothers got to understand that. There's no nation without us. Con? Right. Let's finish up Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse.
The sister said, new mother was a total trial and error. Wow. My mom put my stepdad in the corner like he was a child. Well, yeah, but then think about when you see your mom putting your stepdad in the corner like he's a baby. Guess what you do? Guess what you do? You're like, oh, that's how a woman's supposed to deal with a man. Nigga, get in the corner. Or I'm being trained to usurp the man, right? Trial and error. Just think about how far removed we are from any type of structure when. You know what's crazy? I was listening to something about the Tanzanian women from Tanzania, right? And there's something that they do, all the women do for the young girls in the community. Before they get married to any man or do anything like that, the women take the girls and literally train them for years on how to submit to a man. They train this into them. how to be submissive, how to cook. They listen, this is going to be funny. They said they train their women how to pick their men up and carry them to the bathroom if needed. I don't know what that's about. Con. I'm like, where your muscles at? No. I'm like, wait a minute. These women are trained to carry their men to the bed or to the bathroom. So I'm guessing if you get a little bit too faded and he don't feel like moving, chop chop. That's a little extreme, right? I don't need nobody to carry me to the bedroom if my legs work. But just think about that level of a woman saying, "No, I'm gonna carry my man." Right? Baby boo, you gotta go to the restroom? I got you. And she loads him up and boom. Right? But forget that part. I told y'all I was gonna laugh, right? But I heard it, I was like, what? I had to rewind it like, huh? Like why is that necessary? But think about it. If your man fell into some illness, some sickness, she can't just leave him there. That's the point. Tower against death. Right? She ain't just gonna leave him there. She gonna pick him up and get her boo home. Get him to safety. Get him into bed. Right? With the submissiveness being taught at an early age before this woman even looks at a man. Nope. You're gonna have to learn how to cater to one. You're gonna have to learn how to agree with a man. Who was taught to agree with a man? Whose mama taught you to agree with a man? Yeah. Yeah. Because that's not being taught. That's not being taught to our women how to agree. How to agree with your husband. You never were taught that. Because what you did see was your mom, when dad said something, she would shut him down. No, nigga, that ain't happening. Or she would be like, you know what? And then she'll whisper to you, like, that nigga think he knows something. Right? She'd teach those evil lessons. So you develop the psyche of, I don't have to agree with what this man is bringing forth. And then what did that man do? Well, they ain't going to agree with me, so I'm going to shut down. And then who saw their daddy shut down? Nonviolent. Right? He ain't got the elders. What did it say? They stopped talking. The man stopped talking. He kept silent. He just want to sit on his couch, drink his gin. What is it? Get my setup. Right? He wanted his setup, his 1-on-1. Right? That's it. He want to get home at a certain time, watch a certain program, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, right? In that order. Get his food dropped off to him at the recliner, eat, pass out. On the road, you don't ask him nothing. You don't ask him nothing, man. A lot of cats had dads like that. They weren't active. They were just a silent partner. And you watch that, and you're like, damn, I hated it, but guess what? Now I'm going to be that. Because he didn't learn he never taught us how to work and talk through problems. He let TV, food, alcohol be the sounding board.
I met this Jew that was retired from the military. He was retired since 2006.
Wait, hold on. You said that she could carry you if you hurt your arm? Go ahead.
So this Jew that military man, career military man, retired in 2006.
Right.
I was picking his brain. I was picking this man's brain, but he was steady shutting that down. Like he didn't want me to ask specific questions.
Right.
And he's like, man, I'm retired. Like, don't ask me.
Yeah, I don't want to be talking. Like, I'm done. I'm done with that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, she learned how to carry cows and they had the bubble guts. You know what I'm saying? All that. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me stop. Because I couldn't see the other day. My whole eye was swollen, so I needed somebody to carry me. Right? Did we finish Deuteronomy?
Deuteronomy 32:15, all 16.
Yeah, read on. We're going to read to verse 18.
Deuteronomy chapter 32.
My mom absolutely taught me to agree with a man, which was my dad. But sis, but you come from a different generation. You come from a different generation. And the thing was, I seen that. I would see how you dealt with Dawiyad. Where, yes, he was the head and you followed. But where did you learn that? Your mom taught you to agree with your dad and let dad lead. So then when you transition from dad to husband, that wasn't a transition. That was like seamless. Boom. But the sister, if y'all know Dorcas, Dawiyad from Georgia, she comes from a different, she comes from a generation that's lost. You can't find that. That's an older generation of just women and men that were, they held on to certain of those values. And then it was easy for a man to be with a woman because things were taught at home. It was easy for a man to be a man because he was taught at home. So yes, Khan, I'll definitely second the sister on that. I was about to say she came from a different generation. There's no more Big Mama. Yeah, Big Mama is 20 now. And when Big Mama used to be 70, grays, wisdom, age. Come here, little girl. Get on. It's Sunday. Get on over in this kitchen with Big Mama. Show you Big Mama's recipe. Big Mama open up the cookbook. You ask a chick now, where's the cookbook at? The family cookbook. She looking at you like the KFC menu. That's the cookbook. Or what's the air fry temperature and time? Everything's on the air fryer. But it's healthy. Wait a minute, I need a meal. Not no air fried. Because we're in a different time, right? We got to get back to these times that promoted health in our nation. Read on.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 16. They provoked him to jealousy.
So with the man's lack of trying to get after the prey and trying to prey on other things and trace other things, it said it provoked the Most High to jealousy. Read.
With strange God.
With what?
With strange God.
Thou shalt have no other powers before me. But guess what? Everything is the black man's God. Everything is the Mexican's God. Everything is the black and Hispanic and Native Indians' God. The liquor, the women, the cars, the clothes. All the nigga knows. Money, hoes, and clothes, right? Dior. Michael Mary. Like, you could name it all. Versace all over my body. Gucci gang. Like, that's what we idolize and pedestalize from that time in Deuteronomy until now. We put all these things before the Most High as men. And then who watches it? The women and children. Go ahead.
With abomination provoked they him to anger.
Right.
They sacrificed unto devil.
They did what?
Sacrificed unto devil.
Right. What verse you at?
17.
They sacrificed what unto devils? Your soul. Your livelihood. You thought you was coming up. Remember, he said you already came up. Black man, he fattened you. He got you thick. And you like, man, you gotta go put in. Y'all gotta go, you know what I'm saying? The slave ship. But he already, wait, why you gotta go do that? Why you gotta go sacrifice yourself to that when he already gave you what he needed to give you? Well, because we ain't never satisfied. And because God gives it to you, the Most High provides, it's like, that ain't good enough. It ain't good enough because if it ain't coming from Whitey, if it ain't right, if it ain't white, it ain't right. That be in the head of a lot of our people, man. If it ain't white, it ain't right. We got to come out of that mentality. Most High is already providing. Go ahead.
Not to God.
Go ahead.
To God whom they knew not.
Right.
To new God that came newly up.
Right.
Whom your father feared not.
Come on.
For the rock that begot thee, thou art. Thou art unmindful.
And that's the thing, man. We're very unmindful. Because you're too busy couch. You're too busy laying down. Listen, they call it a couch for a reason. Right? Some of us call it a sofa. Some of us call it a settee. But here in America, they say a couch. Because you literally just sit down and you sink into it. Depending on how comfortable it is, right? You sit down and you're like, damn, this is comfortable. I ain't trying to get up. And they make it with recliners. They make it with a little ottoman. You can put your feet up. You can charge your phone right there on the handle. You can plug in. You got the thing. It'll slide. Boom, food right there. It's like they make it so that you ain't never got to get up out the couch. Or the couching position. Or the crouch position. You could just lay there and wither away. Right? Now, we know why we're like this. Who can tell me why we're like this? Who can tell me why we're in this mind? Why we're crouched and why it's hard to get out? Not because of a lack of knowledge. You're not going to use that one. Who can give me a little insight? Why are we like this?
Because we're so comfortable.
Because it's comfortable, right? What else? This is Jeopardy. What?
Because we're lazy?
Right? That's yep. Because we're lazy. I'm gonna give us a little bit of an out. What?
It's familiar.
It's familiar. It's a comfortable thing. And I'm gonna say this: a lot of this mentality has been taught to us through circumstance. Are we not in a circumstance right now? Because thou servest not the Lord thy God, thou wilt serve thy enemy, and the one of all things. The sweat of thy brow, you shall eat. You don't work, you don't eat. Right? Are we not in that? Right, we in that. Like, you gotta go out there, you gotta provide for your family. Right? You gotta put your mind on your job, and you gotta, whatever craft and whatever thing you're doing, you gotta be on that, right? To be able to provide. Right? That's the circumstance. The circumstance is you don't work, you don't eat. That's the circumstance. Ain't enough money going around Israel to support all Israel. Just ain't popping like that right now. Right? It could be, but it ain't. But through circumstance, and I'm talking about not just your own circumstance, but through circumstance of history, we're in these positions, right? Mm-hmm. So go to Ecclesiasticus 38. Let's let the scriptures tell us. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 38:24. Right, go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 24.
Go ahead.
The wisdom of a learned man
Right?
cometh by opportunity of leisure.
Yeah. They come by opportunity of leisure. Right? Where you get to process in downtime all the things you've learned or read. You get to who was it that said it? Solomon. He said, look at the ant. And he tells you about all the ants, and he tells you about the flowers and this, and he's writing poems and all these things, right? Because he had a lot of downtime. He wasn't fighting no wars. He was just building the tabernacle and his home. So he had 40 years of downtime where he was able to do what? Oh, now I understand the ant. It's a workhorse. It's small, but it gets busy, right? And it's a community bug, and they band together, and unity and brotherhood. And if one drown, we all drown. If one suffer, we all suffer. If one makes it over the hill, over the water, ants do that, right? They'll turn themselves into a life raft. They'll all just link up together until they're like this big, and they'll float over water. Yeah. And they all reaching out to grab onto something. And when one grab it, guess what? Oh, snap. We all made it. That's how ants move. But he's looking like, oh, wow. Look at the ant, you sluggard. Right? Look at how the ant moves. I get it now. I got downtime to look. Wisdom come by opportunity of leisure. Go ahead.
And he that have little business
Right.
shall become wise.
Go ahead.
How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow?
Right. Because what is it saying? You're too busy in the doing of something, and you're not seeing the result of that doing. Wisdom is the correct application of knowledge, right? But if I'm constantly applying, I'm an applying machine, but I never step back to see what I've applied, to see if it's working. I could just be applying. So I'm not knowing if I'm bringing forth wisdom or not, because I'm just constantly applying. It's like, let's use gold. You put gold in the furnace, and then you have to do what to see if it's being purified. You beat it, you dip it, and you look at it. But if I just got it in the furnace, how am I going to know if it's being purified or not? How am I going to know when to stop burning it? So I would have to stop and look and look at what I'm doing, look at my work, critique it. Oh no, 10 more minutes, right? Go ahead.
And that glorieth in the gold,
Go ahead.
that driveth oxen, and is occupied in their labors.
See that? How can a man that's constantly doing these things, he's not going to have the wisdom that we're supposed to have? Read.
And whose talk is of bullocks.
Of what?
Bullocks.
Right. Think about it. What's so wise about bullocks? How much do you need to know about bullocks to? It's a bull, right? Hey, hook him up to the plow, to the yoke, and let's go. Ride, right? He'll do his thing. You don't even need to do nothing with a bullock. Hook him up, put some hay in front of him, and he'll plow away. Go ahead.
He giveth his mind.
He does what?
Giveth his mind.
Come on.
To make furrows.
Right.
And is diligent to give the kind water.
Right. And this is the circumstance. This is the condition of the battle. That you got to go out as a man, provide. Right. Now you're not going and providing fodder for the sheep. You're not. We're doing different things, right? We're doing different things, right? We're not farmers and agriculturists. But now you a mechanic. Now you this. Now you that. You're a truck driver. You're a plumber. You whatever, right? Security guard, pizza guy, right? Line cook, exterminator, right? The most interested man in the world, right? Right? Yashikar was the bandolero, right? He was collecting, right? He's out there breaking knees for a living, right? Putting you in cement shoes. Right? So you ain't concerned with nothing else but doing that job. Go ahead.
So every carpenter,
Right?
and workmaster,
Come on.
He applied himself.
He does what?
Apply it himself.
Yeah, he applies himself. Now, is it a wrong thing to apply yourself to your work, to your craft? No, because if you don't, then basically you're gonna mess up. You're gonna do things wrong. Autopilot, right? You're not worthy of that vocation. Go ahead.
To lead it over.
Right.
And he is diligent to make clean the furnace.
Right.
All these trust to their hands.
They do what?
Trust to their hands.
Now, we're back. Right. Salah for that. We're at verse 31. Read it again.
All these trust to their hands.
Right. So the man that fashioned the clay, the blacksmith, the iron worker, the herd feeder, the farmer, they all trust to their hands, right? And unfortunately, that's kind of the predicament that we're in. Where now, again, you got to go out and labor, provide, right? We left off of the Most High fattening us up to the point where we could just lay back and be in rulership. Now you a slave. Now you got to be a good old boy. Right? Now you got to be a good old slave and show up to the slave ship and work that slave shift, right? And get used and abused and, like you said, the heat of the fire wasting this man's flesh. Your knees are shot, your back hurt, head hurt, arms hurt, everything hurts. The job ain't making you healthy. It ain't pushing your health. You got to be on the road, you eating bad food. You barely getting sleep. I can name it all because I've been there. I've been there, right? I've been there with all these damn warehouse jobs. And it didn't matter if it was the best paying job. It was trash. Right? But what is it that the Most High wants, even from us in this estate? What does he want? Well, let's just read on.
And everyone is wise in his work.
Right. You're going to be wise in your work because that's what you give your mind to. Go ahead.
Without these,
right,
cannot a city be inhabited?
Right. So what is it showing you? That the works that we do, that's what promotes the livelihood and the prosperity of a city. Go ahead.
And they shall not dwell where they will.
Come on.
Nor go up and down.
Come on.
They shall not be sought.
Right.
For in public counsel.
So these men, they're not going to be sought out for counsel. Unless you like, hey, how do you feed sheep? But that ain't too hard. Just throw the food at them. Right? Go ahead.
Nor sit high in the congregation.
Well, yeah, because they're not able to do the things they need to do to get promoted up high into the congregation. Why? Because their mind is on their work. Right? Go ahead.
They shall not sit on the judge's seat.
Right, because they're not trained in judging matters. Right? Go ahead.
Nor understand the sentence of judgment.
Because they haven't been able to take that time to get the understanding. Now, they're not around. Like, who was getting the understanding from Christ? Was it the blacksmith? Nah. Peter, Paul, all them men, they were basically what? What was their professions?
Unemployed.
No. Before Yahushua.
Oh, yeah.
They were basically all fishermen. Mm-hmm. Right? But he said, drop your nets and follow me. And then what were they able to get when they did that? They were able to get the understanding. They were able to sit in the judge's seat. They were able to give counsel. Right? Go ahead.
They cannot declare justice and judgment.
Go ahead.
And they shall not be found where parables are spoken.
Go ahead.
But they will maintain the state of the world.
Well, now this is the question. What world do you seek to maintain? Because we know that Esau is the end of this world. Jacob is the beginning of the new world. So, yes, we're in a circumstance, right? But even knowing that we're in a circumstance and the condition of the battle is I got to go out here and kill myself. I got to work. I got to give myself to this job. I got to give my mind to make sure the job is done right. I still got to think about things. But does that mean that that's where your thinking ends? So what does that mean, old lion? What does that mean, old potter? What does that mean for the potter, for the blacksmith, the carpenter, the workmaster, the farmer? What does it mean? Well, it means I got to sacrifice, right? It means I got to sacrifice a little bit more and push myself a little bit more and be, right now I'm 50-50. I got to be more like 75-25. But let me work on being 50-51. 51 in the spirit, 50. Right? Let me work on that. Let me inch by inch start moving the pendulum towards. Watch. I'm going to show you. Luke 21:47. It says they will maintain the state of this world and all their desire. Read that.
Luke 21 and
no, read the end of that scripture. I didn't have you finish it. And then go to Luke 2:41.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 34.
Right.
Last precept. And all their desire.
See that? All their desire. All their desire. What do you desire? What should we be desiring regardless of circumstance? Remember, we forgot that the Most High saved us from something. Right? He saved you for something to desire something else. But see, that desire we get caught up in is what got us lazy and got us moving a certain way. We desire the wrong thing in certain situations, right? Go to Luke 2:41.
The book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 41.
Go ahead.
Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year.
Now this is speaking of Yahushua. It said his parents went to Jerusalem every year. That's what you were supposed to do for the feast. Go ahead.
At the feast of the Passover.
Come on.
And when he was 12 years old,
right,
they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
Right, so twofold here. They're keeping the law, and then this is kind of giving you where around the time that Yahushua was born, around the Passover. It says it, when he was 12, they went up to the Passover. Go ahead, read on.
And when they have fulfilled the days as they returned,
right,
the child, Yahushua,
right,
tarried behind in Jerusalem.
Come on.
And Joseph and his mother knew not of it.
Right, come on.
But they supposed him to have been in the company for a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintance. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days,
right,
they found him in the temple.
He was where?
In the temple.
No, he was learning how to be a carpenter.
In the temple.
He was being an apprentice for an electrician.
In the temple.
He was feeding the sheep.
In the temple.
He was beating out gold.
In the temple.
He was where?
In the temple.
Now, his daddy was a carpenter. So he was building chairs.
In the temple.
Read.
Sitting in the midst of the doctors.
Right.
Both hearing them.
Right.
And
what?
Asking them questions.
Now, do y'all think that he was asking them questions on how to be a doctor? So, and that surgery that you're about to perform, is that a scalpel? Right? How many gauze do you need for this cut? And, what type of stitch is that when you close them back up? Is that a butterfly stitch or? No. What y'all thought? Like he was in there asking the doctors how to be doctors? Read on.
And all that heard him were stunned.
Wait. So what was he in there doing?
Asking them questions.
And what? Read on.
And all that heard him,
right,
were stunned.
Listen, he was in there teaching them, right? We know that he was teaching them. All that heard him was astonished. These doctors, these lawyers. What was he teaching them? They're doctors and lawyers. These are still today the highest. I'm a lawyer. Oh, man, he gets all the respect. I'm a doctor. Oh, whoa, make way for the doctor, right? These are the highest professions. What could you teach a doctor that went to school for 18 years, an intern for 5, and never slept for that whole time, and now he's a brain surgeon. What really can you teach him? Just think about it. What was he teaching him? He was showing him that, Con, you got your profession. You got your job. You can uphold the world, but there's much more to uphold. Go ahead.
Were astonished at his understanding
Right.
and answers.
Right. Go ahead.
And when they saw him, they were amazed.
Mm-hmm.
And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I.
How come you didn't want to be our little boy anymore? That's basically what that was. Boy, why? You know you a little boy. You know you supposed to be over here with your mama and your daddy. Read.
Thy father and I have sought thee sorely. And
Go ahead.
And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business?
Yeah, there's many businesses to uphold. But what business? And that's why I asked. Joseph was a carpenter, right? But he was about his father's business. So, was he in the temple building chairs and showing them how to make tables? Woodwork? No. He was about the business of the Most High. Right? Okay. Acts 18:1. God, there's something I'm going to show y'all here in these next few scriptures that you can do both. You can be a man of the Most High and still have to, if you have to, do your profession, but where is your mind supposed to be geared towards more? Read.
Acts chapter 18, verse 1.
Right?
After these things, Paul departed from Athens.
Right?
And came to Corinth.
Go ahead.
And found a certain Jew named Aquila.
Right? So he ran into Aquila. Go ahead.
Born in Pontus.
Right?
Lately come from Italy.
Come on.
With his wife, Priscilla.
So Aquila and Priscilla, husband and wife. Read.
Because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome and came unto them.
Right? Because they were trying to avoid the tax. Go ahead.
And because he was of the same craft.
Wait, what?
The same craft.
Wait, Paul was of what?
The same craft.
Wait, Paul had a craft?
The same craft.
Wait, but hold up. What the hell did he have time to write the Bible? Wait. What was his craft? Read.
He abode with them.
Right?
And wrought. For by their occupation.
Wait, Paul had an occupation? Well, hold up. He wrote most of the New Testament. Go ahead.
By their occupation, they were tent makers.
Now, just think about it. How can Paul dedicate so much of his time to traveling the way he did? Writing letters back and forth to the churches, establishing the churches. Now remember, we in Acts 18. And it's still showing you that Paul had a profession and that he got with these people based off the fact that they were tent makers. So they shared something in common. They got to settle in a little bit. What was it showing you about Paul? How many times did you hear, oh, and to the brethren in Corinth, I salute thee. Can't be with you right now because I got 15 tent orders to complete. See y'all in a week. And to the brothers in Galatia, shalom. I ain't going to be there for the feast. I got some orders that's backed up. You know how business goes. Oh, and to the cats in Rome, peace be with y'all. I know y'all need me there, but listen, I got these tents. You know how business goes.
Yeah.
Just think about it. It said he had an occupation. So was it wrong to have an occupation? But what was it about his occupation? Because then he comes back and says that walk worthy of the vocation. So how could you walk worthy of the vocation if you're occupied? Well, what do you got to do? Don't you gotta unoccupy? Is that the word? Unoccupied? I think I made that up. Disoccupied? No, that's definitely not it. Unoccupied. You gotta unoccupy yourself with one thing and pick up another thing, right? Where you at?
Verse 4.
Romans 16 and verse 3. Let's get through this.
Romans chapter 16, verse 3.
Go ahead.
Greet Priscilla,
right?
And Aquila.
So now Paul is giving his props, right? Greet Priscilla and Priscilla, the husband and wife. Greet them. Read.
My helpers.
My what?
Helpers.
Because we made tents together. Right? They were tent makers. Read.
In your house shot.
Got y'all. Got y'all. He said, come. Nope. They weren't making tents no more. Or if they were, that wasn't the focus. I won't say that they weren't making tents no more, but they don't say they was out there. Watch, read.
Who have for my life laid down their own necks, unto whom not only I give thanks, but also all the churches of the Gentiles.
Go ahead.
Likewise.
Right?
Greet the church.
The tent house.
Greet the church.
The places that we make tents.
Greet the church.
Where is the church at?
That is in their house.
Bro, think about it. It said that they said, you know what? I know we make tents and all. We know we got to live and we got to have an occupation and we got to do things, but look how they dedicated themselves to the other side is the point. They didn't let the occupation be the end all be all. Again, I'm not, disclaimer. I don't want nobody in here to feel like I'm wicked because I got a job. That's not what I'm saying. Or I got an occupation. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, where's your mind geared towards what you're occupied with? And should not we be more occupied in the word, regardless of anything? Regardless of occupation or how you make your money? Shouldn't we be more occupied in the Bible, in the wisdom, in trying to be the judge, trying to be the counselor, trying to be the officer? That should be where our minds are occupied at. That's where the occupation really is, right? Or am I missing something? Am I misunderstanding something? Where we at?
Salute my well-beloved.
Go ahead.
Ebenetus.
Right.
Who is the first fruits of Micah unto your house shot.
Go back to Acts. Acts 18:24.
Acts chapter 18, verse 24.
Read.
And a certain Jew,
right,
named Apollos.
So you got Apollos, right? You got Apollos. Go ahead.
Born at Alexandria.
Come on.
An eloquent man.
Eloquent man, read.
And mighty in the scriptures.
He was what?
Mighty in the scriptures.
A mighty man in the scriptures. He had that word. He ripped through that Old Testament. He ripped through that law. Go ahead.
Came to Ephesus. This man was instructed.
Wait, he was instructed in what?
In the way of the Lord.
Right. Go ahead.
And being fervent in the spirit.
Go ahead.
He spake and taught diligently.
Come on.
The things of the Most High.
Come on.
Knowing only the baptism of John.
Go ahead.
And he began to speak boldly in the synagogue.
Go ahead.
Whom, when Aquila and Priscilla,
the tent makers, go ahead,
had heard,
right,
they took him unto them,
right,
and expounded unto him,
go ahead,
the way of the Most High,
the way of tents,
the way of the Most High.
No, because your A-frame got to be this way, and then when you put the tent over it, the lambskin is going to fall this way, and then when you dye it, that's what it's going to look like.
Expounded unto him the way of the Most High.
Bro, they had to compartmentalize the tent making. Okay, let me take that word back. They didn't have to do anything. They compartmentalized that part of their life, understanding what? Was tent making going to get them to the kingdom? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. It didn't matter how good of a dough maker LaShavar was in the world. Guess what? Yahweh Shai wasn't pulling up like, let me get one of them pizzas and I'll let you in. Right? Nope. He was not pulling up like, let me get a pizza. He wasn't pulling up like, hey, so how many people you stopped at the door when they were stealing? Right? Let you in if you got 10. It wasn't happening. It's not happening. He's not coming to ask how many brakes you changed, how many pests you sprayed, how many shoes you got, how many knees you broke, how many phones you sold. He's not coming to do that. I know. I'm messing with you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
How many Edomites you scalped? Right? Yeah, right? You're not coming to ask that. How many Edomites you scalped in your past life, Montezuma? Right? He ain't coming for that, man. He's coming to say, wait a minute, how did you compartmentalize the things that you had going on and then put me first? How did you get through those things, right? And not let those things be the reason for you laying down all the damn time and thinking that it was comfort time and rest time. How did you use those things for my benefit? How did you use your profession for me, for my people, right? I'm going to say one thing. I think I said this a while back. Us as men, and there's a theme. I know here in Houston, it's not a knock or anything like that, but we got the older brothers, right? We got the more seasoned, experienced brothers. We just do. But there's things that the Most High has given y'all in your lifespan of experience that now you're supposed to be willing to impart to the next generation of men that are younger, that don't have those experiences. That's why you're here. That's why you're here, not to sit on your knowledge and be like, well, I got it. Tough luck, nigga. Fold your hands and go get you a setup. Y'all gonna learn what a setup is. Y'all gonna learn what a setup is one day. It's an inside joke, right? But it's funny. It's just funny. It's funny. But the point is not to sit on it like it's a goose egg. Like I'm waiting for this to hatch. It's not gonna turn into nothing if you just sit on it. It's not gonna turn into anything. You'll never see even the knowledge that you have blossom into anything past you if you hold it to you. Just like sisters. If you got knowledge on certain things, and I got a daughter, but you know what? I want to spend time with my daughters. I'm going to let my knowledge die with me. Well, guess what? You'll never see that the maturation of that knowledge or wisdom that you have blossom into anything. They'll be able to add on to what you've done, but you'll never see the adding on. It's like Big Mama's cookbook. It wasn't Big Mama's cookbook. It was her mama's cookbook. And then she got it, and what did she do? Oh, I got a recipe for some mac and cheese. You know what? I found that if you add a little bit of butter to the recipe, it makes it a little bit more fluffier. And she wrote butter in the ingredients, right? And then she would go through and she'd do the stewed chicken, and she's like, oh, you know what? If you add some flour in the gravy, it'll thicken it up, right? And then if you add a little extra pinch of salt, it zazzes it up. And she's writing in the cookbook and adding to it, right? And she handed it down to her daughter, and her daughter, damn, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, let me try that. You know what? I wonder if I add a little bit of this. That works. And she's writing it down. And then we get to this generation. It's like, here goes Big Mama's cookbook. Cookbook? We got the internet. Cookbook? I don't eat meat. Cookbook? My hands don't work. My nails is too long. Right? We in a different generation. It's a cold world. Right? Read on.
More perfectly.
Right. See, they were able to, how were they able to deal with a man that was mighty in the word if they were mighty in tent making? If that's all they were mighty in. It said Apollos was mighty in the scriptures. He was in the synagogue teaching, and they came and taught him. And it was a husband and wife, I might add. Right? Let's go. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. No, we ain't got to go to 1 Corinthians, because it's going to say 1 Corinthians 16 and 19. You can write it down. It tells you that the church was in Apollos, was in Priscilla and Aquila's house. It just says it again. Right. So what do we got to do? What is it that we need to be doing as men, Israel, that has this knowledge? Well, you got to take back control of yourself. You got to go back in and start getting back to that first love. Take control, stand bold. Write that down. Isaiah 31:4. Got like 1, 2, 3, 4 scriptures, and then we out. 31:4, Isaiah.
Isaiah chapter 31, verse 4.
Right, read.
For thus hath the Most High
Right.
spoken unto me.
Go ahead.
Like as the lion.
Like as the what?
Lion.
See, the Most High is like the lion, and he's going to deal with us as the lion. He wants us to be the lion. Go ahead.
And the young lion.
Come on.
Roaring.
Right?
On his prey.
Making himself known. Roaring on that prey. On top of myself. On top of my spirit. On top of this word, right? Laying down on the word. You better crouch in this Bible. You better crouch in some counsel. That's what you got to be crouching in. Because, listen, some of the conversations I be having, man, I feel bad for a lot of bros. Because you're not doing the thing that you need to do to get you to the next hump. The next obstacle. I do it. I talk about my problems. That's why I'm free. That's why I'm clear. I don't talk about them to y'all. I know who to go to deal with my issues, right? That's why I'm not chained down with my rib putting me in the corner. There's not a thought like, oh, she's gonna scold me today, right? And I say anybody here is dealing with that. But I'm not chained down with, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know this. I don't know that. No, I talk about my stuff so I can figure out how to handle it. I go to somebody that's greater than me. It just is what it is. That's what we got to do, right? Go ahead.
When a multitude of shepherds
right.
is called forth against him.
See, this is what we want to be, like a lion. When the shepherds are called, because what do the shepherds do? They defend the flock, right? But we want to be that lion that when the shepherds come, you don't budge. You hold your ground. Go ahead.
He will not be afraid.
He will not what?
Be afraid.
Yeah, man, you don't want to be that cat. We want to be the ones that's not afraid. Go ahead.
Of their voice.
Come on, of their what?
Voice.
Yeah. With that old lion crouched down, you hear a voice. Damn, she's yelling at me. Oh, wow. Damn, why is she talking so loud? Why is he talking so loud? Damn, what's wrong with Quadazat, man? He always loud. Well, his voice be rattling walls, man. What's up with that? Go ahead.
Nor abase himself.
Or nor what?
Abase himself.
Come on.
For the noise of them.
See that? Abase yourself means to get low. You're not going to crouch down because, oh my God, it's just too much. Nah, you're going to stand up and you're going to deal with that noise. You're going to deal with that loud woman. You're going to put her in her place. You're going to deal with them children. You're going to put them in their place. You're going to check that brother that needs to be checked. Most importantly, you're going to check the noise in your head. Most importantly, you're going to sit back and say, I got mad noise in my head. Let me check that. Let me stand bold in the word, check myself. Read.
So shall the Most High come down to fight for Mount Zion.
Yeah, what y'all think? When Yahushua come down, he just going to be tiptoeing like a sheep? Prancing around like a deer? Oh, I'm here to save my people. And he's just skipping, right? Nations, please give them back. And he's just ice skating through the world. Bruh, say he's going to be stepping through like the wine press, pressing cats out, stomping, roaring. The Son of Man will descend from the heavens with a shout. Come on, man. What you think? What y'all think this is? What are we supposed to be living like? The white, pasty, blue-eyed Jesus? Butterflies and bubblegum, or Yahushua? Let's get it. The lion, right?
Right.
Where you at?
And for the hill thereof.
Right. Go to Numbers 23 and verse 23.
Right. The book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 23.
Right.
Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob.
Right. And that's how we should be thinking. Like nothing should be enchanting us or getting us off our game or being, oh, you know what? I talked about the other day, the dangling carrot. A lot of us are enchanted with that carrot, that golden carrot hanging from a stick. But it only moves when you move. It only moves when you move. That's the caveat. That's the trick. That's The enchantment. You think like, oh, wait, I gotta go chase that. Oh, no, but it's only moving because you're moving. The rider is holding the stick out in your face. The damn nigga that's riding you, the boss, that white boy on your back, talking about, get to work. Get this done. And when you move, you're like, oh, wait, it's moving. Wait, maybe I can get it. It's getting close. It's getting close. Wait, and they eat up, right? Remember the commercial where he had $1 on the. Yeah. He's like, right? That's how it be for some of us, man. They got that $1 on that fishing line, and they're like, almost got it there, buddy. Right? Go ahead.
Neither is there any divination against Israel.
There shouldn't be. There shouldn't be no divination, witchcraft that's coming up against us. But you know why we get easily bewitched and tricked? Because our minds be on the wrong thing. Our minds are on the wrong focus. We're occupied. He had us occupied in the meditation thereof. Go there, Ecclesiasticus 38 real quick. Read.
According to this time,
right?
It shall be said of Jacob.
Go ahead.
And of Israel.
Read.
What hath the Most High wrought?
Go ahead.
Behold, the people shall rise up.
They shall do what?
Rise up.
No, stay laying down.
Rise up.
We're supposed to be rising up. Not with guns and trying to kill white people. But we're supposed to be rising up out of our mental conditions. Out of the mental instability. Out of the spiritual decay. We're supposed to rise up that way. Like a bold lion. Go ahead.
As a great lion.
As a what?
Great lion.
Come on.
And lift up himself as a young lion.
Come on. So you that old lion, that bold lion, that great lion with wisdom. But you that young lion in that spunkiness. It's the spirit that quickeneth. The spirit is supposed to get you moving. Like, I don't know what 40 feels like. Is there a feeling to 40? Right. Because truthfully, in my mind, I'm still 16. Right? And I look like it. But in my head, any 16-year-old can get it. Right? Any sport, it don't matter. I'm going to die trying. Right? Y'all know that. Come on, y'all seen it. Y'all know that. I don't care. I'm not constrained to an age. I'm not tied down to, I'm 40, so guess what? Time to hang it up. 40. How old am I? 41. Shadak, how old are we? That's the only way I know my age. You be keeping me on point. Right? But come on, man. Like, you hit 40 and all of a sudden, you start, you just shut up and break down. Remember the old Transformer in the movie? You remember that old Transformer? Yeah. He transformed and he farted. And he would transform, it's like, it's like, oh. Now some of us be looking at like, oh, it's all broken down. Oh man, the spirit is supposed to get you like that young lion, but guess what you got to do? You got to do young stuff to get into that mode too. You can't just sit around. Do 100 push-ups in a day. Do some sit-ups. Do some squats. Get that testosterone circulating back in your loins. And not for that purpose, but to be able to have some conviction and fight about you, man. A lot of us, that testosterone is gone. All that drinking and bad eating, bro, they knew what they was doing. They knew what they was doing. That Y chromosome, looking like 2 X's.
Damn.
Go ahead, read.
He shall not lie down.
Right?
Until he eat of the prey.
That's where our mind should be. I'm not going to stop till I get this. I'm going to eat this book, man. It's going to be bitter and it's going to be sweet. Sweet in the mouth, bitter in the belly, but guess what? I'm going to still eat. I'm going to still devour. What you doing? I'm studying. Oh, really? What you studying? Well, man, I was going through this. Come on. Daily. Bro, things didn't start clicking for me on a real live level until I had to go to the mall all day, come to class, go home, deal with my kids, deal with my rib, and then from 2 a.m. to 4, 2 a.m. to 6, that's where I had to get my studies in. I'm in the mall every day. Where am I going to study at? 2 a.m. to 4, 6, 5. That was my playground. It was quiet. Nobody was awake. I go right to the living room. Boom. Do my thing. Every night. Every night. There was a time when I would walk in the house. I would sit down on the bed and my books would open up on the bed. It was a habit. It was habitual. It didn't matter what I was doing. I would just come home and open the books. Right? And I would tell myself, the TV could be on. It don't matter what's on. The books is in front of me. I got to read something. I got to put my mind in this book for the next hour or two. Okay, you go to bed. Kids, y'all ate. Y'all did y'all thing. Look, I'm busy. That was my time to play. But I had to sacrifice. It was no sleep. Right? Just to be in the mall the next morning at 10, 9, 10, EO training, all the things that brothers go through. But how do you become great? You got to push yourself to the next level. You got to be out in the gym shooting when nobody else is. Bottom line, right? When everybody else is sleeping, what you doing? I'm up, devouring the prey. Read.
And drink.
Right?
The blood of the slain.
Psalms 104 and 21. What?
You still want that meditating, Joe?
God.
Yeah, read that real quick.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 1.
Yeah, 39 verse 1. Go ahead.
But he that giveth his mind to the law.
To the what?
To the law.
Right. See, we give our mind to the wrong thing. Give our minds to the law. Go ahead.
Of the Most High.
Right.
And is occupied.
Wait, his occupation is what?
And the meditation thereof.
And the law. Go ahead.
And is occupied in the meditation thereof.
Go ahead.
Will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients.
Yeah, you can be occupied in more than one thing. You can be occupied in more than one thing. I know for a fact, Abishai could change brakes in his sleep. I know for a fact. It's like, come on, bro, right? You ain't thinking about that. I've watched you. Abishai be humming along. He just be moving and grooving. He dropped them tires down. Boo. I'm like, he moves so eloquently in the shop. It's like a ballroom dance when he's doing his thing. I've watched him. I'm like, dang, this dude is graceful as hell in here. Bumping into stuff all crazy and sloppy. But you could tell, like, when he's doing his thing, his mind, he just be thinking, right? But he don't gotta think and give his whole entire brain over to changing some brakes because he's done so many brakes in life. You look at it and be like, oh, I got this. Lug nuts, tire, boom, boom, calipers, boom, 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 boom. Now, if there's a problem, it's like, okay, let me throw some brain power into it, right? Let me throw some brain in here to see what's going on. Oh, fix the problem. Got it back together. Next. But in the meantime, in that space that's not being occupied, this is where we got to be at. Always. Always trying to equate things. Whatever you are doing, what scripture applies to this, right? What scripture applies here? Like Corey been rapping to us about the trading. And my mind is always like, well, oh, damn, see that scripture. See, that scripture goes with that thought process and this and that. Trying to make sure that the Bible is always the forefront of it all. You lose that, you lose yourself. Read.
And be occupied in prophecy.
In what?
Be occupied in prophecy.
Go ahead.
He will keep the sayings of the renowned men. And where subtle parables are, right, he will be there also.
Right. Go jump down to verse 30. What you at? 39 and 1?
Yes.
Jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8. He shall show forth that which he hath learned.
See, it's going to show forth what you're occupied in, where your mind is occupied. Go ahead.
And shall glory in the law of the covenant.
Right. Go ahead.
Of the Most High.
Right.
Many shall commend his understanding.
Not for your occupation of how you do these things in the world that keep that going, but the understanding of the word. Right. So let's jump back. Psalms 104, 21.
The book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 21.
And then somebody get Micah 5 and 8.
The young lions roar after their prey.
Yeah, go ahead.
And seek their meat from the Most High.
Yeah, you see that? The young lions, they roar after the prey. That's what we should be on, but then the Most High is going to give that increase. Go ahead. So Micah 5 and 8, then we'll end it here.
Micah chapter 5, verse 8. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles, in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest.
Read.
As a young lion among the flocks of sheep.
Go ahead.
Who, if he go through,
Go ahead.
both tread it down.
Come on.
And tear it in pieces.
This is where you should be at. That when anybody stand in front of you, it's a wrap. They can't hold a candle to you. You like a lion with a bunch of sheep in front of you, knowing what? Anybody could be a victim. Any cat, look at me the wrong way, and it's a wrap. Look at me, and I'm not talking on a violent fighting level. I'm talking about in a wisdom, knowledge, understanding the Bible level. You just have this monkey, this monkey Edomite make a whole video about us, right? This old pasty bastard made this video about us. Now, if he pulled up, all he gonna want to do is battle and debate. He tried to pull up on us before, and we ain't dealing with that, right? Because he ain't talking about nothing. But would he put you to shame? Would you be able to handle it? You walking around with fringes. Oh, so you one of them Hebrews. Well, I believe that when it says Gentiles, it's not talking about Israelites in the captivity. It's talking about actual Gentiles. What you got for them? Right? What you got for them? I know you got it. But does everybody else got it? That's the point. Nobody should be able to stand. Everybody should look like a sheep to you, man. We grown men. We got to act like it. We got to move a certain way. We got to think a certain way. Now, I'm not saying to be high-minded and prideful. It's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that when it's time, you got to be able to stand up. What?
You got to be bold in your house.
You got to be bold, right? It says the righteous stand bold like a lion. The wicked flee when no man pursueth. We got to be bold in this word. It tells you, Paul, he was bold in the word. It tells you, we just read about Apollos. It said he was bold in the scriptures. Mighty in the scriptures. He's a mighty man. Think about when a cat's like, man, this cat's mighty in the scriptures. You're like, man, that means he knows everything. Right? I mean, like, he knows it all. It don't matter where he goes. He's breaking it down. Hey, go here, drop, bring that out. Hey, go to that scripture, hold that, read. Don't pause, read. Right? And he's able to give the understanding of all these things. That's how we should be. We should be bold in this word. Not laying down, not letting people lay you down. Right? Not laying down for anybody, compromising. Don't compromise the word or yourselves for people, man. For their time. Screw their time. Take that time to go study. Take that time to fortify yourself. Because when they start hitting the fan, what they say, if you got no oil in that candle, no oil in that lamp. The sister said, what? 60, and I do more by 8 a.m. than most people do all day. And I'm grateful to be able to. Time. That's right. 60. Hey, that's the sister. Oh, wow. Time. Yeah. Staying on top of your health. And 60 and still moving and grooving. It's like the brother that was doing his cement. This guy's 70 years old. Bro, he moves like he's 16. No lie. 15, 16. He just be running around, right? He moving and grooving. He walking fast. He's excited. I'm like, dude, what's going on with you? But that's where his mind is at. He always talking about Jesus and this and that, right? That's what he's on. When he ain't falling off the slabs. Right? He's a good bro, though, man. And it's funny because his older brother standing there looking at him. He's like, man, I can't come up. I said, man, he got a lot of energy. He's like, yeah, man, I can't come up against him. That's what he said. I was like, yeah, 70 years old, bro. So just remember that, man. Again, brothers got to get that spark, get that fire, keep that fire lit, right? Let the spirit guide you. Remember, St. John 6:63 is the spirit that quickeneth. You want to get moving, you want to get that mind going, you got to stick in the spirit of the Most High. Any questions on the class?
Micah.
That was Micah 5 and 8.
8.
Yeah.
And that song before that?
Going 4:21. Okay. All right. I know we went over a little bit. That sound kicked out. So lucky for that. We thank everybody for joining us. And with that, we'll say shalom.
Shalom.